It all started with a snake. How is it that one moment can change the course of a person's life, let alone their dreams? For me, I had always known I wanted to work with animals. However, I wasn't exactly sure specifically what I wanted to do yet. Little did I know that that defining moment would come in the form of a long, slithering reptile. I remember it was the summer of 1995. I was an energetic, rambunctious 8-year-old who loved to play outside and get into all sorts of trouble. That particular day in the summer of 1995, my mom and I were going to go to the zoo. And this was especially going to be awesome because it was going to be just the two of us. I remember that day being warm, bright, and sunny. We took our time looking at all of our favorite animals. We were about to go home and we were headed out to our car, and that was when I saw it. Now it was a woman, but the woman was holding something rather peculiar and unusual, and that was a huge giant snake. And around the woman, I noticed that there was a huge group of children. They were flocking around her like a flock of birds, chattering, jumping up and down, trying to get a better look at the snake, asking her questions. Me, I had never seen anything like that before. I was nervous, excited, super curious. I asked my mom if we could go over. She, a little bit nervous, said that we could. So we kind of angled our way over there. As we got closer, the woman caught my eye and she asked me the all crazy important question, would you like to touch the snake? What? Me? 8-year-old me like to touch the snake? Of course. I nodded my head vigorously while my mom vigorously shook her head no, she would not want to touch the snake. So I went up forward and the lady instructed me to take 2 fingers and to gently touch the snake from the head to the tail. Well, I was enraptured from that moment on, looking at the beautiful, colorful iridescence of the snake's scales, feeling how soft they were. I could not stop asking this lady questions. And so for nearly 10 minutes, but to me it seemed like 10 years, I was just asking her question after question. Where did the snake come from? How had the lady gotten to have this amazing job where she had gotten to hold a snake in front of a bunch of zoo guests? Well, she told me, I became a zoo volunteer. Well, again, that just elicited a whole slew of other questions. How do you become a volunteer? How old do you have to become to be a volunteer? And on and on and on. Well, she said the youngest that you have to be in order to be a volunteer is to be 13 years old. Well, that put my mind in a crisis. I was only 8 years old. I had to wait 5 more years to become a volunteer. What was I going to do in that time? How was I to wait that long? I was seriously stressed out. And I mean, not just a little, but a whole lot. Well, my mom assured me that the time would go by fast and that not to worry, that I would get to be 13 years old someday. So I was placated at that point. And so finally we left and we went home. Well, true to my word, as soon as I turned 13, I became a zoo teen. And that started out 21 years of working with animals. So that was my defining moment in what I wanted to do with my life.